everyone doing? So today we're going to be doing Pollo Fricase, which is a Cuban staple. Anybody that's ever been to anyone's house that's Cuban, who is Cuban, who's gone to Havana, who's gone anywhere in Cuba, Pollo Fricase is like the thing, okay? This is actually one of my first recipes that I learned how to make because my father used to do it all the time. And this was actually one of my favorite foods growing up. So I hope that you guys enjoy the tutorial, and I look forward to bringing you more delicious recipes as time comes. A lot of Cuban, but a little bit more too with it. Ciao. Okay guys, so let's run down a little bit of the ingredients that you're going to be using today. So first and foremost, you're gonna need at least 4 red potatoes. You can choose to use other potatoes if you like. I just learned how to make it with red potatoes, so I stick with that. Then you're gonna need to make sofrito. You can buy it or you can make it. I made mine, which is why I have the plum tomatoes there. That will be a whole nother tutorial for another day, but don't worry, I got you. Sofrito time is coming. Then you're gonna need your sazon Goya, your cumin. Some people pronounce it differently, so guys, if I said it wrong and it's not up to par with how you say it, that's how I say it. You're gonna need a white onion. You can use yellow onion, red onion if you prefer, but again, staple of mine is white onion. You're gonna need sweet peas, a pinch of salt that you'll be using throughout as you cook it, just to kind of see if it needs a little bit more or less, but I put, I think, about a tablespoon in there. You're gonna need olives, your lime, garlic, green pepper, red pepper, and your sour orange. So sour orange is a little difficult to come across sometimes in certain grocery stores. If you don't live in like Hialeah, Miami, now Pembroke Pines, which is where I reside, is getting, you know, hyped to the Latin culture. So I can find sour oranges now like nothing, especially because Sedano's is like really around the corner for me. But if you're unable to find sour orange, you can opt to use an orange. Try to taste it first, and if it's too sweet, don't use it because it does kind of play a part in this deliciousness that's right here. So this is our chicken that we're going to be using for Pollo Fricase. It's super important to marinate your chicken if you really want it to have a good flavor, because the difference about us making Pollo Fricase is that we're just not dumping the chicken into like a sauce, right? We're actually going to brown it a little bit. So because we're going to brown it, we want all that flavor to just kind of infuse into it before we actually add it to all this deliciousness, which you guys will see in the tutorial. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope that it made a little bit of sense of what you'll be needing. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, DM. And of course, when you decide to make this dish, make sure you hashtag Lili con Sazon, because I'm excited to see you guys do this in the kitchen. Ciao! So here's the chicken that has been marinating already for a couple of hours in the refrigerator. You want to make sure that your marinade is more of a liquid base. Don't try to do like a dry rub, because if not, it's not going to infuse into the meat, and that's what we want it to do. And if all else fails and you have a hard time, you can always use mojito. That's the cheater's version, but for now, you can do that until you get more acclimated in the kitchen. Okay, so see you guys soon. Ciao. Okay, so this is my salsa de tomate. Some of you guys can opt to just use a can of tomato sauce if you want to go faster and you don't have as much time, but I just use plum tomatoes, crushed garlic, a little bit of salt, and a pinch of sugar just to get this tomato sauce going. And because I want it to be a little bit chunky because of the Pollo Fricase, that's what we're using it for, I'm not necessarily going to use a blender or anything to puree it. So you guys will see at the end what it looks like once it's all shimmered down. So at this point, you want to make sure not to forget your chicken and to allow it to continue to brown while you are working on other things. Remember, don't cook it all the way. Okay, so the sauce is getting there, and I'm gonna add just some white wine, vino seco. So now that I've added the vino seco, I'm gonna wait just a little bit. So maybe in about 5 minutes, let this shimmer back on down, and it's gonna thicken up. So now your salsa de tomate is ready, and I'm gonna actually turn the heat down, put it to the side, and get started with the red peppers, the green peppers, the garlic, and the white onion. Now that my onions are translucent, I'm gonna add the 1/4 cup of vino seco. Again, so really quick tip, if you added the other portion of the vino seco in your tomato sauce, if you opt to make it homemade, then you don't have to do the 3/4 vino seco. You can actually split those in half between your salsa de tomate and this part, okay? But if you're gonna use tomato sauce, then you're gonna do 3/4 of vino seco at this portion, which is white wine. So once you add your vino seco or white wine, whichever one you prefer, you're going to cover it and let this shimmer for 5 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step. Don't forget to cut up your potatoes like so. And this is how your chicken should look before you add it to the base of a pollo fricase. Nicely brown, but not fully cooked. You can tell it's not fully cooked because mira ese sangre. Okay? Not ready to eat yet. So you're gonna add your sofrito next. Again, I'll show you guys the recipe. You're gonna add your tomato sauce. If you opt to make your own tomato sauce, even better. I'll be so proud of you guys. Then you're gonna add your cumin, which is 1 tablespoon. Your sazon, which is 2 packets of sazon. And then just a 1/4 cup of water. And about 1/2 cup of olives, but I love olives, so I did a full cup, but don't follow me if you're not an olive lover, okay? With a little bit of the vinegar that's in it, so don't dry it out too much. So we're just gonna give that a nice, good stir. And I want this to shimmer for about 5 minutes only so that all the flavors can get into it, and then I'm gonna add the chicken. Okay, so I'm gonna put a pinch of sugar in our pollo fricase base, and I'm going to explain why, because you guys may ask me, why are we adding sugar to this? You're not going to taste it. It's actually going to balance out the acid that's going to come from the tomato sauce. If you don't do that, you're going to find yourself with a very tangy pollo fricase. So if that's what you're going for, then don't worry about the sugar. But if you want a smooth transition between the tomato sauce and the chicken and everything, I promise you, adding a few pinches of sugar to your sauce is going to make all the difference. It's not meant to be sweet, so if it gets sweet, you added too much. So again, just about 1 or 2 little pinches of sugar. Now that my base has been cooking, I'm going to start to add the chicken into the sauce. Okay, and you're gonna do that until you have everything in there. And don't worry, you may think that it's not gonna be enough sauce, and trust me, it is. Once the chicken starts to cook down, it's going to build up. So in a few minutes, I'll show you what that's gonna look like. I have all my chicken in there, and I'm gonna let this shimmer on medium-low heat for about 20 minutes to 25 minutes, right when it's almost thoroughly cooked, because midway we're gonna add the potatoes to it, and that's why you want to make sure you have enough liquid in your pot, because if you don't, then your potatoes are not going to cook thoroughly and they're going to stay hard. So rule of thumb is if you mismeasured at some point, you can always add a little bit more water to it. Don't make it too watery, but enough for it to balance out with the chicken. Okay, so at this part, you are 75% done. You will know if you can cut between your potatoes that it's ready, and you will fold in your sweet peas. I prefer to use frozen, and you're just gonna fold those in like you did with the potatoes. Again, we don't want to destroy the chicken, and we definitely don't want to mash the potatoes inside. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I look forward to seeing more of you guys comment below. Make sure you send a DM if you have any questions. And until next time, un beso. Ciao.